What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. There's some huge rumors right now about Spider-Man and not about Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Okay, potential spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you haven't seen the video, click out of this, come back and watch it later. If you want to look at my spoilers breakdown review of the movie, you can find that on the channel as well. But there's rumors that Andrew Garfield could return beyond Spider-Man No Way Home as Spider-Man in his own solo movie or popping up in other movies like Venom or Kraven the Hunter or maybe an Into the Spider-Verse type movie. And these rumors are pretty strong right now. And if you've seen the movie, you know the reception around Andrew Garfield's return as Spider-Man is insane. He's been trending since the movie came out. That's how much people are really into his Spider-Man right now. But these rumors are insane. And now with No Way Home being the second biggest box office opening, beating Avengers Infinity War, up there with Endgame, it's insane numbers right now, and Sony would be insane not to bring these characters back for further projects. This article right here comes from The Direct and it's written by Lauren Rouse. Will Andrew Garfield ever play Spider-Man again? New rumor teases possibility. If the past few days are anything to go by, Spider-Man No Way Home has definitely managed to live up to the hype. The Spider-Man film is smashing box office records and has crowds cheering in theatres worldwide, thanks to its many surprising moments and the return of some fan-favourite characters. But the most persistent rumours about the film have surrounded the possible return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. The plot of Spider-Man No Way Home deals with the concept of the multiverse. After Tom Holland's Peter Parker botches up one of Doctor Strange's spells, the doors to the multiverse are opened and the duo has to deal with the intruders who enter their universe. Some of these interdimensional interloopers highlighted in trailers include some Spider-Man villains audiences will be familiar with, like William Dafoe's Green Goblin, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, with the plot of Spider-Man No Way Home focusing heavily on the return of these famous villains. Many have also wondered whether this meant the multiverse door has opened for Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Men to return as well. Will Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man swing again? As audiences around the world see Spider-Man No Way Home in theatres over its opening weekend, talk of Andrew Garfield's possible return as Spider-Man has been rampant. In that same light, industry insider Daniel Richthofen revealed on Twitter that he's heard Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man might come back, following initial claims from Twitter leakers like My Time to Shine Hello that Garfield could actually come back for multiple projects under the Marvel Sony banner. So where will Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man next appear? All those who have seen Spider-Man No Way Home know Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker does feature heavily in the second half of the multiversal trequel alongside both Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire's Web Sinners. Knowing this, it appears that Richthofen is referring to Garfield's returning as Spider-Man in a future project beyond No Way Home. Plenty of fans were understandably disappointed when Garfield didn't get a third The Amazing Spider-Man solo film, but the actor has definitely earned his redemption after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, and there's no shortage of places he could show up again. The ending of his latest film effectively seems to shut the door on the multiverse characters that appeared in the film, with Holland's Peter Parker sacrificing his identity as Doctor Strange's spell returned the characters back to their rightful universes. However, seeing as the multiverse is a big focus for the MCU moving forward, it doesn't appear to be impossible for Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire's Spider-Men to return canonically again. As for where Garfield could show up, there are a few upcoming Marvel projects that could make sense. The post-credits scene of Spider-Man No Way Home officially paved the way for a Venom Spider-Man crossover, with Tom Hardy appearing in the final moments. Now that Sony and Disney's Marvel universes are colliding, it leaves options open for Garfield to potentially show up as a Spider-Man in future Sony films alongside Venom, Morbius, and even Kraven the Hunter. The next big multiversal film set in the MCU will be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which also was teased at the end of No Way Home. The Doctor Strange sequel is currently undertaking large reshoots, which will reportedly feature more Spider-Man inspired cameos. Could it be possible that Andrew Garfield is one of them? Only time will tell. So those are the big rumours right now, that Andrew Garfield and maybe even Tobey Maguire will return as Spider-Man in future projects, either in the MCU, the Sonyverse, maybe their own standalone movies. I'm not too sure, but all I know is that Spider-Man No Way Home is breaking box office records right now, beating Avenger movies in a pandemic when there's surges of this new virus as well. That's insane. It shows the power of Spider-Man or Spider-Man, and the word of mouth for this film is absolutely insane. I can't wait to watch it again. But Andrew Garfield for me was a huge standout in his return as Spider-Man Peter Parker for Spider-Man No Way Home. His jokes were on point, the action, the emotional beats were all pretty solid, and that's great writing from the team involved. But Tom Holland was fantastic as well. Tobey Maguire, all three of these guys were just fantastic. Their chemistry, everything about it was just perfect in my opinion. Even though maybe the movie around them wasn't perfect, they were definitely perfect. And I think Sony would be absolutely crazy not to bring these characters back, either solo movies or as cameos or whatever, because there's so much money to be made right now. And Andrew Garfield is a huge hit online because of this movie. So do I think they will return? I 100% think that Tobey Maguire will be Spider-Man again, and I 100% think that Andrew Garfield will be Spider-Man again in the future, because the reception around this movie is crazy. We could get it into the Spider-Verse type live action movie or solo movies for these guys. I don't know how it's going to work, what's going to happen, but Venom's world that has Jared Leto's Morbius and it has Kraven the Hunter, that's Spider-Man-less right now. So could Andrew Garfield be the Spider-Man in that universe? Could it be Tobey Maguire? Could it be Miles Morales? Could Tobey be a mentor to a female Spider-Woman? Stuff like that. There's huge potential right now with the Spider-Verse within Sony, and I'm really excited for the next trilogy with Tom Holland, because for me now the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home showed him to be Spider-Man. It looks like that Homecoming, Far From Home and No Way Home, the Home trilogy, was the origin story for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which is actually fantastic if you look at it that way. Individually as solo movies, maybe not the best, Homecoming and Far From Home, but all together mixed with No Way Home, it's just kind of perfect in my opinion. So I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but it worked out in the end for John Watts, the director, Kevin Feige, and Marvel big time. But the reception, the box office right now, people going in waves to see this movie, it has to be something special. And I think Amy Pascal, who's one of the Sony executives who works on all the Spider-Man movies, she's going to look at this, she's going to think, wow, there's some serious money to be made here, but also we can give the fans exactly what they want. And why not? Audiences aren't stupid. You talk about oversaturation, well, there's comic book movies that come out every 2 months. There's shows every single week. I don't think there's oversaturation whatsoever. I think people love these types of movies, and if we see several Spider-Man projects, I think they can just do as well as Spider-Man No Way Home is doing right now, if they're good as well. That's most important. But guys, do you think Andrew Garfield will return as Spider-Man for future projects? Do you see him in the Sonyverse, standalone movie, back in the MCU? Where do you see Andrew Garfield returning, or do you see him not returning at all? Maybe he's done as Spider-Man. Very interested to hear your thoughts, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you want to check out other videos in the channel, you can check out my No Way Home spoilers discussion. There's also DC videos about the Batman, about Black Adam, about Shazam, about Henry Cavill's Superman. So check those out, guys, if you want to. And I'll see you in the next video.